Let's have a sesh on break-even calculations. So two questions that may well be examined are as follows. So one is to calculate the break-even output, and another one is to calculate the revenue at the break-even point. Let's go through how you could answer these two questions, and afterwards a simple trick to check that you have the right answer. We'll start with the numbers, the question. So you may be given fixed costs. Remember, fixed costs do not vary with output. So £10,000 for your fixed cost, the price or the sales price, £7, and the variable cost per unit, per one thing, because it's per unit, of £2. Now let's, using those numbers, calculate the break-even output. Output, remember, output is going to be measured by units. So the formula to calculate the break-even output is fixed costs divided by your sales price minus your variable cost per unit. The actual name for sales price minus variable cost per unit is contribution per unit. You may see it called that. So let's put the numbers into that formula that you've got to remember. So on the top half, you'll put in the fixed costs, so £10,000, and then you'll put the sales price in, £7, and the variable cost per unit, per one thing, of £2. And 7 minus 2 is obviously 5, so £10,000 divided by 5 comes to 2,000, and you're using units because you're measuring it in output. So what you've calculated there is that you need to sell 2,000 things to break even. The second type of question that could be led into afterwards is to calculate the revenue at the break-even point. And the formula that you need to know to remember this is the break-even output, which you've just calculated here, and you times that by the sales price. So how many things you need to sell to break even times by how much it costs to sell one thing, the price. And so 2,000, which you've got from there, you've previously calculated, times by £7, 2,000 times by 7 comes to £14,000 because you're using pounds because it's revenue. So £14,000 is the answer to how much revenue you need for the break-even point. Now let's just do a quick trick to check that you have the right answer. So you've just calculated that the revenue at the break-even point is £14,000. Break-even point, remember, break-even point is basically when you have made zero profit. Your profit is £0. So bringing out that classic old formula of profit equals revenue minus cost or total costs, well, you can put 0 in for profit because you're at the break-even point. You can put the answer you just calculated of £14,000, and so total costs must equal £14,000 because 14,000 minus 14,000 is clearly 0. So you've calculated that your total costs are £14,000, and you know that total costs equals fixed costs plus variable costs. But you were given in the question that fixed costs were £10,000, and you've just calculated that total costs are £14,000. So if you just go through this formula, then clearly variable costs are going to be £4,000. Now you can just check that against the question because variable cost itself is variable cost per unit, per one thing, times by the units at break even. So clearly 2 being the variable cost per unit that you were given in the question, and 2,000 is the break-even units, 2 times 2,000 is £4,000, and so that would work because now you can see that £14,000 for total costs, £10,000 for fixed costs, so that must be £4,000 for the variable cost, which you've confirmed through that working there. I hope that helps, and good luck with those break-even calculations. Questions can be tricky, but learn the formulas and you will be fine. I'll see you at the next video.